Welcome to the number one Disney sponsor Pokemon GO podcast.
I wish we had Disney money.
Gotta catch them all. I don't know. I'm the Rock Got a Podcast with Charles McFall. That is Schmeard over there. We are back again. So yeah, we're just talking pre-show about just the cool, crazy life I got to live last week, and how opportunities arose, and I was sharing some of the story behind that and some of the adventures that I had. I was able to go to Disney, and it was a blast, and my family was very jealous, but this is a thing. That'd be that. I'll tell you, Joe, I will tell you, that is honestly the next property Disney needs to buy.
Us
is Pokemon. Well, us, us. 100%.
Pokemon GO Podcast, not even Pokemon. Pokemon GO Podcast.
But he's like, I was just, Universal Studios building Universal Studio Universes, and they're bringing in some of the stuff from Japan, right? The Mario Kart ride, the Donkey Kong ride, and some other things. I'm like, man, honestly, who in our fandom, right? Who in the fandom of Pokemon wouldn't love something on the lines of Universal, or even honestly, even better, Disney? I mean, Disney just has Disney money, Disney sensibilities, and is holy cow. It just is amazing. I walked into, we walked through, you gotta walk past Indiana Jones thing. We walked through I've been to Disney Hollywood a few times. It's one of my favorite parks over there. And when I say a few times, I mean, like if we go in a week, I make sure in that 1 week we hit it like twice, at least in that week, if not 3 times, with the family. We do hopper passes, whatever. It's not like I get to go to Disney all the time. I'm not Tony P. Henderson, but you walk through these worlds, and I'm used to it. It's like, oh, there's the Man's Chinese Theater. Here's the Indiana Jones stuff. Here's Star Tours, which is still not Star Wars. I mean, it is what it is. It's not like the world. It's just, oh, here's a cool ride. And then you turn a corner and you walk through some entrance arches, basically, and you turn another corner and you're living in the movie and the TV shows. And it is the only thing they don't have, Joe, is like from the Mandalorian, when they walked around the first episode, and the little creatures that Jabba the Hutt kept eating, the little Muppet creatures.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the Mandalorian, as they walked around, they were in some cages, like just natural life, like somebody captured them in some cages. That would have been a fantastic extra touch. But I have some pictures I'll send to you, Joe. Actually, you know what? I'll also get up and I'll just make a little room saying, geeky stuff, geeky photos or whatever in our Discord, and I'll throw them up there, because there's so much cool stuff there that, even though like I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, I do enjoy it. And we were talking about that also a little bit before the show started, but it was awe-inspiring. It really was amazing. I didn't get to ride as many rides there, but anyway, I did miss the show. I was doing my own field research, and Professor Pine said, ride that ride one more time. So, you got to go with what the tree says. But I was like, Disney.
As long as it's Professor Pine and not Professor Pinewood Box.
Yeah. Swab the deck while Daddy talks. So, I was thinking, though, how amazing would it be if Disney owned or had the rights to build a Pokemon park, right? I don't know what the rides would be. I'm not that kind of person, but to walk, I would still enjoy it, even though I didn't ride the rides, like the Toy Story part of that world in Hollywood Studios. We walked through it when I was with my kids. We definitely participated more. Didn't ride any of the Toy Story rides this time, but still enjoyed walking through the world going, man, that's really cool.
Yeah, and see, there is a Pokemon theme park in Japan. So
is there?
Yeah.
Interesting. So I knew there was a Mario themed one. We talked about that too. Universal Studios is bringing Mario.
Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure. Now you're making me second guess myself.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there they just call it the mall, but
Oh, and apparently Universal Studios is going to have some Pokemon themed stuff.
So there you go. So I knew Universe is
getting it.
Yeah, so I'll be honest.
Universal Studios Japan officially partnered with the Pokemon Company.
Okay, well, it is quite possible then Universal Studios Universes Park, which is, so they've got studios, and then they've got literally in the same parking lot, touching it in the same entrance area, is Islands of Adventure. I'm assuming it's still there. I haven't checked on it since COVID. But then down the road, just like the Disney parks are separated by miles, down the road, they're building a new Universal park called Universes. That one absolutely has been confirmed to bring in the Universal Japan stuff of Mario. The Mario Kart ride, the Donkey Kong ride, where it's basically you're on the mine cart in Donkey Kong, and the technology will make it seem like the carts are actually jumping and everything like you do in the game, and some other stuff. And they haven't confirmed everything that's coming to that park. So quite possibly Joe and I might be going to opening day of Pokemon Park. You know, we got to start saving up now, Joe.
I think it's going to be in Japan though. And
well, yeah, but if they're building something new in America, we might. I'm
gonna have to look into it more, but I just skimming a random thing that I googled.
We've got enough.
Be part of the Super Nintendo world.
Okay, which some of that is already coming over.
Yeah, so it'd be Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, Pokemon, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's just a ride, we'll see. If it's the world, I mean, honestly, the ride was amazing. The ride was fun. You're in the Millennium Falcon. You're controlling it. You're in. Though, I mean, you're walking on the decks and the floor plates move. You know, quite literally, they move. You're seeing all the stuff that you can recognize from the different scenes of when they're walking through the halls of the Millennium Falcon, and then you go and you enter the cockpit. Oh, it's crazy. All that being said, if they actually do something worthwhile, Joe, even in Japan, we have enough yen to get tickets, like to enter, and we've got enough Barry folks to get us over there.
This would be the best reason for me to get my passport for the first time in my life.
Exactly. Here's the dream, right? We get the Barry Falk / Paul Puck branded private jet, right? And they come with, of course, right? You know, y'all got to come with. And then we pick up Ibbot on the way, and then we hit Japan. And then we get T-shirts, Joe. We have to get T-shirts that say,
as we're flying over,
big in Japan.
As we're flying over Bo, we throw some rocks at him.
But we have to get T-shirts that say we're big in Japan, you know, because we're huge guys. And, you know, then we go to the park, and we all do it for the sake of the show. For you, Devo Sight and Old Man Tup. I'm doing this for you. So that's the goal. All right. Enough. Look, Joe didn't have anything to do at work today. We've got color-coded notes. We got kind of weirdness going on. We've got some experiences of the week to hit, and I will tell you, I did some basic raids. You know, they were the Xerneas or whatever. They're not like Weedle raids or anything, but it was not what all the hoopla was about this weekend. I didn't know anything about that, and didn't really I spun a few new stops, you know, at the parks and around. Well, yeah, at the parks and around Orlando, or whatever, but nothing spectacular as far as catches go. Because, like I said, I didn't know that was going on. But what about you, Joe? What's your experience been?
Well, this past week we had Community Day. So did you not?
Okay, I did do some of that. I got some shinies because you texted me. I had to think about it. You did text me.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I texted you.
Not about Sunday.
Yeah, so I only ended up getting I think it was 2 shiny Litwicks. Yes, I got 2 shiny Litwicks.
Oh crap! Wait, no, that wasn't Sunday.
It was Saturday. You okay
what was going on Saturday? Because I don't think I got a text. I don't think I remember doing anything on Saturday for Pokemon.
Now I'm gonna have to consult.
So I wanted to do the Litwicks.
I hope your texts are okay for me. Going back.
Yeah, you can text me.
Going back. And Saturday.
I sent you a red panda.
Nope.
I take care of you.
I didn't text you.
Not that it's your fault.
It's clearly all my fault that I didn't remind you.
I want to do Litwick. There was some. Oh, it was the throwback community day or whatever. There was something you did remind me about in the last couple of weeks, and I did some of that and got some shinies or whatever that was. But dummy me. I was so caught up in my Disney hoopla that I'm not going to kill that joke tonight. That I missed it. It's my Ninarino birthday today. Was that mean today was the first day you caught your Ninarino? What is Joe? What is that?
I don't
Is he having
know.
a stroke? Did he throw a
But
clot
the
from
WF professor
his...
is here. Oh, throwback Thursday, Nidorino birthday. I don't get it. It is what it is. All right, so. No, but I did.
Oh, it's my birthday. Nidorino is the dex number for my age. Happy 21st birthday.
Did you look it up real quick? What the dex?
No, I have no idea. The other joke would have been happy 483rd birthday.
What is the dex number? Oh, 33. There we go.
The Jesus birthday.
But yeah, so I got a couple of shiny Litwicks. I was actually at a pumpkin patch for a lot of community day. It was nice for the experience, but as far as for community day, not so much, because there wasn't a whole lot around there. There was enough that I got some Litwicks, but yeah, there's like just one stop and stuff. But it's that time of year, got to spend time with the kids. It's like, do I do Pokemon Go, or do I spend time with the kids and do Pokemon Go-ish? And I went with the Pokemon Go-ish. But I still managed to get a couple of shiny Litwicks. And I actually had my kids catch them in between playing at the pumpkin patch, the shinies.
I was about to say, the answer is yes, Joe. You get them to do the work for you.
But yeah, so that was fun in and of itself. So...
I will say there's little things in this game. I love that leaves are falling, that they're on the ground.
I noticed that. I don't remember those being there earlier in the week. No. I wonder when that turnover happened.
Probably after, I'd imagine sometime right after Community Day, or maybe before Community Day. I really am slightly irritated with myself because I do have the Litwicks. I wanted a shiny. I wanted some more Litwick candy. I wanted to participate, and I tell you, I love the awesome, crazy life that I get to lead sometimes. The fact that I got the fairly last minute go to Orlando, so I got a paid trip to see my buddy Tony P. Henderson. I impressed him so much, I made an episode of Tony P. Podcast. He talked about me, so that's fun.
There you go. Yeah, and the WF professor mentioned this too. I forgot about it since I have no stops near me. But the stops are orange right now and have a pumpkin down at the bottom.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen those yet.
And when it's a Team Rocket stop, they still turn black. The stops do, of course. But the pumpkin actually has a carved R on it when it's a Team Rocket stop. Yeah.
You can have the crappiest game in the world, and this is not the crappiest game in the world. They do some dumb stuff, but it's not the crap. But you make it look cool, and you make it just fun enough that people threaten to quit, but then they do a podcast for 6 years about it. It turns out to be pretty cool. You can get a lot of mileage out of some good graphics, is what I'm saying here. And this is, dude, I'm even watching your screen while I'm doing this other battle. I don't know, it's just cool. It's just a nice touch.
And I don't play with the sound on, but it should have the the theme right now. The Lavender Town theme. Let me see.
No, not that one.
Is that gonna? Let me see if do I need to turn on? Here?
I can turn mine on the same one.
Yeah, there we go.
Of course, it won't come through on my side.
Yeah, it won't come on your side, but on the stream, we've got the. Oh, I got
on the stream. How come we just got our account banned? What happened?
Again?
No, man, that's always gonna be too soon. That's always gonna be too soon. So yeah, all right. So that's the adventures weren't very adventure-y. Then I got some cool invites from Paul Puck, and I did some of that. Some other people. I think I did it. Jacket K. I think I did a raid with him this week or in the last 2 weeks. Playing some, and honestly, I've just lost the habit. I got so busy in the last couple of months that it was just go. And I broke the habit of, hey, let's check the game. Let's make sure my gotchas charge. I actually was thinking about it today, and I reached over and grabbed my gotcha, and it needs to charge because I'm going to go to yet another conference this weekend, another EMS conference, and this one I'm performing at more or less, and bringing one EMS more to the main stage there. And so, yeah, I was like, well, I'll be at Jekyll Island. That'll be places I don't normally get to go. So let me make sure I've got my gotcha ready and it'll spin and everything else. So I'm thinking more and more about it, but that's kind of been it. What? So you got a couple of Litwicks, you got a couple of shiny. Show me the shiny.
Let's see the shiny Litwick.
Litwick.
Yeah, it doesn't look a whole lot different. We looked at the shinies a couple weeks back, but yeah, it's a paler blue flame.
Okay, you didn't evolve it. You weren't. You don't have that much candy. Maybe you should pick and choose if you should evolve it.
Here's the shiny Chandelure.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So we actually did talk about it, and what we wished it had done is had the black flames with like have a gold
Hocus
candelabra
Pocus.
instead, or something like that. So, but the WF Professor says that the Chandelure is an awesome shiny, so I'm glad that he likes it. But yeah, I wish it was just a little bit. I don't know. Going back to a standard flame color, just I don't know, doesn't do it for me.
But it's a really big flame.
Yeah, it is.
So what else? I know we've got Discord. What else is going on with our
and shiny Chandelure is amazing from Old Man Tup. So I guess I am in the minority when it comes to.
I mean, I like the touches we thought about. Like the black flame, but I still think it's kind of it's a fun.
Devo site has requested the button.
Oh, okay. I got it. Too many things to get through here. Here we go.
Yes, sir. I like it. Yes, sir. I like it.
There you go. Thank you. All right, hit the Discord. What do we got on the Discords?
All right, so over on Discord we have Terry coming in with a. Let's see. I can't even tell.
Why was he waiting
shiny.
for 2 p.m.?
Because no, it's not shiny because he was waiting for 2 p.m. because Community Day hadn't started yet. So he had a Hundo Lucky Litwick that he was waiting for Community Day to evolve.
Got it.
And then Kittens and High Fives got his first ever Shundo as Shundo Litwick. I don't have any Shundos. So
is there any? I don't think I do either.
Awesome.
Is there any way to search for that? I mean, you can't just type in Shundo.
Well, so you can type in shiny and 4 asterisks, so 4-star.
Okay.
And it will. Yeah, shiny and % 4 asterisks. And then we have hatched during yesterday was 100% Axew for Kittens and Knives. He also got himself a pretty nice IV shiny Giratina. So it's 15. It looks to be 12, maybe 11 on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I commented to him because it's got the gold and white and then the black and the blue, and it always makes me think of that dress that people debated.
Oh yeah. I was noticing that he got the Wish version because it came from South Korea.
And then Nolte would not be outdone.
Never.
Ended up with 11 shiny Litwicks. And then non-Litwicks, we've got a shiny Giratina, 2 Xerneas, a Misdreavus, Ponyta, an Alolan Ponyta, a Farfetch'd, and a Stuffle. So, a shiny My Little Cotton Candy Ponyta. And then a couple of new Hundos, a Banette and a Dedenne.
I got a shiny Gyarados. Already had one evolved, but this was a capture. I was invited to a raid and got the shiny Gary from it, which was very cool.
And then Devo site posted this like literally just before we started the show, hanging out with his Mr. Mime, who's been in the gym by itself for 32 days.
All right. How do you take a picture with yourself in there like that?
So if you click on the Pokemon in the gym, it'll show the avatar of the person.
Okay, I've never just even bothered. He got knocked out 5 days later.
There you
This
go.
episode is a mega bonnet of my existence.
Sorry, WF Professor.
Oh, I can see an orange stop from my house. That's really cool.
There you go.
Can't reach it from my house, but I can see it. All right. Is that just about everything there, Mr. Punk Caboose?
That's it from our Discord. It is.
Gotcha. So we've got a couple of questions here. We were talking about a couple of weeks ago, what is the worst Pokemon that could get a Mega?
Yep. And we're going to revisit that because we got a couple new answers this past week.
Yeah. Yeah. So off of Anchor.fm, and I'm assuming you can do it both on Anchor.fm and on Professor's inviting me to a Mega Bonnet. What do you know, Joe?
What is love?
That thing is really freaky looking. That thing is messed up. I'm afraid to use a battle pass on it. But what had the worst Mega? And we've got Devakate on Spotify. So I'm assuming you can do it on Anchor as well, but definitely through Spotify. Doug Trio would hands down be the worst. The likes of Blissey, Snorlax. I can't even imagine what they do different to make Doug Trio look mega other than just making it bigger. So Doug Trio would hands down the worst. The likes of Blissey, Snorlax, and Slacking would seem like odd megas. So Joe has a soft spot for the Shuckle. He would really blow us a mega.
Just do a Google search for Doug Trio out of the ground. That's what the mega would look like.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I've seen that. I'm not gonna ruin it. You should look it up. It's Joe's actually not the troll in the group. That'd be me. So you can actually do that. Mega Metagross is good. Okay. Zach Man says Ditto wouldn't be the worst, but would be the most cursed. Imagine it being 10 times the normal size and take his derpy face, but plaster it all over his body like some nightmare. Hashtag too spooky for me. I love it. Kellen the boss says this might be the first time we've heard from Kellen. Kellen the boss says if we're talking mostly useless, easily Caterpie, which was kind of my go-to. A mega Caterpie is like, are you serious? Come on. And we're talking,
so it would be a mega Butterfree, I guess, at that point, right?
I guess
I don't think there's any megas for unevolved Pokemon at this point.
Okay, but you get the point.
I do. I do.
Kellen, I'm sorry for Shmee over here. Thank you for commenting. We're talking worst looking Ditto because it would just be a bigger Ditto,
a bigger blob.
Yeah, and then Alex
he transforms the enemy into Ditto instead of transforming himself.
Into the enemy. Alex says Diglett would be, of course, that's Doug Trio, right? Yeah. Swablu, man. For me, Swablu is like, no.
There is a mega.
I think they're Arteria or whatever, but
Altaria,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, so fluffy. Why? No.
Now I'm just imagining Wooloo getting a mega, or Mareep getting a mega evolution, and they're just a ball of cotton,
right? Just as big
with a tiny little head sticking out, and they just roll around.
What's that dog? The one that looks like a Scotland Yard. I can't. That's the sound he makes in my head every time I see stupid face.
Yeah.
Not Rockruff.
No.
That's the werewolf one. Scotland.
Yeah. What is it? The Scottish dog Pokemon Herdier.
Yeah.
Herdier.
Yeah. Let's just. Well, you know what the mega Herdier is? Just fat. He's just fat. That's all it is.
Or I guess
he ate too much dinner scraps.
Yeah, the WF Professor is correct. Stoutland is the fully evolved form.
Okay. See, you know how my brain works, Professor. I appreciate you. Nothing to do with Scotland, but as soon as I said it, I was like, oh yeah. But also, it was kind of based off of Scottish Terrier a little bit. But yeah, Herdier. Herdier's just mangy. Obviously, ate too many scraps. Just kind of waddles at you. You know, the mega Herdier. That's a good hard pass for me. But thank you, Kellen the Boss and Alex, for piping in there. Now, this week's question. By the way, great title. Where's the fun, Niantic? That I mean, we should ask that like 3 years ago, but that's a great title.
Thanks. And then we did have another answer on Reddit as well.
Okay, I hit it.
So from Budget Bar 1123 says Minin. What would be the
by
point?
minute? Yeah, right.
And I mean, yeah, Plusle as well. Same boat.
Voltorb, same boat.
Same boat.
Why?
Bigger booms.
Yeah. Oh man, I almost sent you one to Emily Swan. Swan named Emily. Check her out if you like artwork on Twitch and TikTok and everywhere else. She sent me a Pokemon one that, you know, it was one of those animations somebody made themselves, and it's like this trainer kid and this older guy. I was speaking to, he's like, man, we're just trying to get to work. No, we must battle. You know, really going over the top like they do in games. Like, no, seriously, man, we're good to go. No, now give me your money. And he's like, all right, now it's time for self-defense. He's like, I call Charmander's like, well, Pikachu, you're already out. I high-fived him. He says, all right. He goes, who's gonna go first? He goes, no, I am. I'm gonna go first. Pikachu, slap him in the face. He also slaps Charizard. Charizard didn't do, and he just kept telling him to slap him. And he's like, "No, you can't do it." Like, no, man, we didn't want to do a battle. We were just trying to go to work. We told you we were cool, man, and you asked for this. And I'm just cracking. I was like, "That's how you teach kids a lesson." It only works when you open. I need to open some gifts. So was that all the bad megas?
Yes, that was all the bad megas, and now we have a discussion from this past week, which was only posted on Reddit, I assume, right? Or did you actually post?
No, I got it. I did my job, sir.
Whoa.
On Sunday.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
You done?
You just wait till you see what I have in store for you at the end of the show, sir.
So the question was, what would you like to see from future villains in the anime?
Real quick before we answer that, I got my own question. If I mega evolve this Bennett right now because I have enough candies, then it's going to be free after this, right?
It'll have a cooldown, but yes.
Yeah, but then after once you do it once, okay, I'm doing it. Why not?
Yeah, they made that change a while back, almost like everyone told them to right off the bat when they released megas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you like to see from future villains in the anime? Budget Bar 1123 says, would love to see a Sideshow Bob character.
I thought he was going to say something real about that. And I was thinking, I'm going to make a Sideshow Bob joke out of this Sideshow. Whatever. Then it was a Sideshow Bob joke. Nicely done. I appreciate you.
Yeah. What are they saying over on Spotify?
Well, we got Kellen the Boss 2 weeks in a row jumping in here. What would you like to see from future villains in anime? For them to have scary Pokemon like Machamp, Swampert, Charizard, etc. So do tell, what are the scary Pokemon versions of them? That sounds like a very real thing.
That sounds like a great question for next week. Because
what are scary Pokemon?
It's right before Halloween. What do you consider the scariest Pokemon in?
Well, this seems like a reference because the question is, like to see from future villains in the anime. Villains had their own versions of Pokemon, right? Like the Shadow Pokemon. Maybe that's what he meant.
Well,
maybe
not so much in the anime. In the games, they had Shadow Pokemon.
So I don't know, but Kellen, I like it, and whether we understand your answer or not doesn't matter. You've got 5 Pokecoins coming by Pony Express, so make sure you get to your local store on Main Street and sit and wait for the. I lost this joke, man. I'm moving on. But what's the last week? Next week's question is what?
What do you consider the scariest Pokemon?
There you go. All right. Before we hit this break, things are going to run a little different tonight. Well, not a little different. For the regular podcast, it's going to run the exact same. However, Dennis, the world's most okayest DM, got inspired to do some audio for us. However, take me to church. He was inspired by that demon fillery and tried to sneak that demon stuff up into the church of the Pokemon. We shall not have it. So, after the credits roll on this show, we'll play the 10 minutes. 10. Did you hear that, my brother Joe? 10. I don't even pray for 10 minutes. And we're going to listen to Dennis after the credits for 10 minutes. I can't do it. All right. If you want to know more about PvP, because apparently Phil asked him, what's a good thing? He talked about a nerf that Niantic has done very quietly to the PvP season. He's talked about some of the meta that's out there that you can get right now and some other teams to build. So enjoy that 10 minutes after the show. If you're live, you're going to have to get the podcast for it. Because Joe and I, when we've been separated for a week, we ain't got time for all that, Jesus. We got to go. So we can hit this break and we'll be right back. Yep. All right. Yeah, I was thinking, 5-ish. All right, let's do this.
I wanna be the very best. The very best. Not even true. To catch them is my weakness. To save them is my cause.
Who's testing you? Who is testing you? You're 10. You're supposed to be working on the new map, not being the best there ever was. Man.
Well, see, that's why 10-year-olds can go out on their own in the Pokemon world, because they don't have Common Core math.
They don't have Common Core math. That'll be okay. All right. So
plus, I mean, if you become a Pokemon trainer, you can stay 10 forever. That's what Ash teaches us, right? You only age if you stop being a Pokemon trainer. That's what it seems like to me.
So the Giovanni's
he's
not
the oldest
10-year-old
10-year-old I know of.
Hey, I just watched the movie Old, so I think I know how it plays. I think I know how Giovanni is an adult yet still a 6-year-old trainer.
Although, Bart Simpson might be given a run for the money as the oldest kid.
30 plus years as a first grader or whatever he is. Nah, Bart's a little older in first grade. He's like fourth or so. I don't know. All right. Joe has color coded the notes into 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Totally screwed up the motif of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but it's okay. It's all right. We're going to start with a whole bunch of elite raid stuff that I want to sleep through. So here you go, Joe. Introducing elite raids, which, dude, how did I not get any kind of notice from anybody about this weirdness that they popped out on Sunday?
Because they said on Friday, hey, this is going to be here. And then they started to...
I miss one episode. One. They don't get a text from Joe. I don't get an invite from Mr. Paul Puck. I don't get any love from Divakate.
You couldn't do remote raids for this. This was local only. The quote unquote elite raids, you had to be there in person. You couldn't do remote raids for this.
11 a.m., 2 p.m., or 5 p.m. local time on October 16th.
Yeah, based on when the egg appeared in your area.
So you got to be at those times rolling around, hoping not to use your AK because it's a good day, and then hopefully go, oh, wait, there's an egg, and go pop one?
Yeah, so...
Not the AK, the egg.
If you're driving around, I guess, Saturday, you could find out when and where the raids are going to be happening on Sunday. So...
How? Because that egg would show up 24 hours in advance?
Yeah, so the egg sits there with a 24-hour timer beforehand.
I'm still trying to put together, even though you can't do remote raids, how did that block the text going through from all my friends? I don't know. It's just weird. I got T-Mobile. It does weird things like that, I guess.
Yep. That's what happens.
Yeah. That's how it works. So Hoopa raids have. So one of the videos, if you're live, you saw Joe scroll through some text I sent him to show off some other stuff. And there's a video I sent him today, not knowing this was a thing at all, of this great lady who her husband or boyfriend or friend or whoever he was in the car, he's like Joe and I. He's like, no, I gotta go do this thing. And she doesn't understand it, but she's funny. She's very funny. And she's like, what if nobody shows up? He says, no, they will. She's like, man, they're so serious. And she pans the crowd and people are getting out of their car. Stuff like, happens. So I sent it to Joe going, oh, this is funny. Still not safe for work because she says some things, but nothing.
And he
horrible.
says some things.
Yeah, nothing that would Joe would find offensive. Joe's not going to say it, but it's not in that negative sense that he's going to find it offensive. And then the text I get back was like, yeah, they didn't give us much heads up on that on Sunday. I was like, wait, I'm sorry. What? What are you talking about Sunday? Because they weren't very clear on what they're trying to. She did say Hoopa, but I didn't know this was a thing. And I thought she was trying to say Hop-Ep or something. She didn't know what she's talking about. He couldn't say the name. They were me, right? They were me in the car. So I'm not thinking anything else of it. Hoopa U-Raids have 20,000 HP, neither tier 5 nor tier 6. I wouldn't know. I just have to read about it. So tell me more about it's not a tier.
Yeah, so the next couple of sources that we have here are about the stats of these raids. They are higher than tier 6. And I think what they're considering tier 6 are the Ultra Beasts, because we don't technically have a tier 6 that I know of. But yeah, this comes to us from a Redditor called The Wildman, or TellWildman _ He embraced the underscore. And yeah, so they have 20...
You know what that underscore there looks like, though? A plank that you need to walk. Just saying.
And so to put it into context, though, 20,000 HP on these tier 5 raids. So that's legendary raids, right? They have 15,000 HP. Legendary raids do. So, yeah. There were reports this weekend of people failing when they had 5 people battling. From what I could tell, because I tried to find an answer on the Sylph Road for what the recommendation was, from what I can tell, the Sylph Road is recommending you have at least 7 people for these raids. Which the craziest part about that is Hoopa has a 4 times weakness, and yet you still need 7 people to take it down. That is crazy. So yeah.
Well, going on to the next one, it ties right into here. The teal deer on this one from user VLFPH says that elite raid bosses deal 27% more damage and take 21% less damage than their tier 5 counterparts, in addition to that 33% HP increase that we already knew about.
Yeah. So yeah, they're beefy. Like this reminds me of Lugia raids when they first came out, because everyone was such a low level that you needed, 10, 11 people to take down Lugia.
What's the max? 20?
20 is
20
yeah,
20
yeah,
right, yeah.
20 is the max. I mean, when Lugia comes out now, you can do it with like 3 or 4 people. But when Lugia first came out, you were needing, 10, 11 people to take down. I remember failing to beat Lugia with 11 people when Lugia first came out, and that was nuts. But nowadays, I mean, you don't see generally those big of crowds. Although I did see screenshots of Hoopa raids where they had 20, 30, 40 people at the raid. Granted, you can't have all of those people in the raid at the time. But
look, millennial, they're called photos. Photos are when you take a shot of somebody doing something. A screenshot's when you capture the game on your phone.
You're not wrong. But yeah, so I saw, I don't know, for some reason, whenever I think of images on,
a screenshot.
You're
You're an IT guy. I mean, you probably screenshot a lot of things to show errors and issues in code and whatever.
This is accurate. But yeah, and that problem, I guess some people see it as a problem. I personally would, but there are issues, especially with rural people, with having enough people to do these raids. This comes to us from a Redditor by the name of Sadie C, or SadYC1, however you want to say that. They live in Amsterdam. They went to a big park that had 2 Hoopas hatching. Well, they were at one of the parks, him and another player, and they noticed that the other side of the park, there were 11 players there. So they rushed over there trying to get in on the raid. They were done by the time they got there. So they went back to the first spot and waited for a half an hour, and no one came. That kind of sounds familiar to an experience you had with a Zapdos.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a bit disheartening that you sit there, you're there on time, and you just can't get enough people to do the raid.
It's expected. It is Niantic not listening to what's happening in the real world. When the legendary birds came out, Zapdos is the one that had that experience on, where somebody was across town for Articuno, which in my community, pretty much everybody got an Articuno, and everybody's even saying in that Discord, this is like their 3rd or 4th one. And we're like, no, here's a Articuno. At that point, is either Articuno or Lugia, I forget. It's a really tough one. It's like, look, you only have 7 people. You're not going to beat it. You already have it. Come over to Zapdos. All we need is like 2 more people. We had 2 or 3. And Zapdos was probably the easiest of the legendaries to get. And this is in the heyday where everybody would just jump in their car and go raid and do stuff, and nobody would come help. If people are not going to come pre-COVID, when it's so exciting and everybody got out and did this and your stats on your servers are showing it, you're not going to get this to work very well post-COVID.
I still think they should. I realize the algorithm would be hard to fine-tune and tweak, but I still think that they should scale the difficulty of a raid based on the number of people, so that it is possible to solo these raids, and have its CP adjusted accordingly, have its level adjusted. So if you take it with just one person, it'll be the lowest level possible. Whereas if you have 20 people fighting it, it's going to be this epic battle, and it's going to be way up there. And so the payoff at that point isn't just the Pokemon, but it's also the resources. If you have 20 people battling with you, you don't have to spend as much candy and Stardust to level it up, because it's already a pretty high level, because you coordinated and had all of these people with you. We've been saying for years that, well, at least I have, that I think that's a good idea, having the raids scale based on the number of players that are fighting it. That way you don't run into these situations where it's just not possible.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember off the top of your head Dennis's in-game name? Because it's not World's Most Chaos, and it's not his name. I kind of remember, but it's been a while.
I don't. I just looked to see if I had Dennis in here, and I don't.
Yeah, we have to.
We'll have to reach out to him.
Nickname it, which I thought I typically read nickname those, but all right. I know he plays. I know the Demon Fillery lies about playing. But
he
the
just
lesson
collects gifts. That's all that Phil does.
That. So there was a surprise text in game Hoopa News, but it's been removed. And some YouTubers apparently hinted at a spawn around the gym, like the 4-star community day raids. And somebody put in the word Zorua, which I don't know if that's a Pokemon or a YouTuber. But they're not really. It's all chat. There's nothing really of merit here. It doesn't look like.
Yeah. So if you scroll down a little bit, there is some links to actual YouTube videos where they stated different things, how they said it. But basically, they said that it would be similar to the 4-star raids on community days, where where it will boost the Pokemon that are spawning right around the gym afterwards. Okay. And so the trouble is that so they removed the surprise text, partially, I think, because they didn't have it fully working. There are reports that there were elevated rates. There was even a report that a Kanto Articuno had spawned at a couple of the gyms afterwards. But by and large, most people did not see anything special popping up after the raid. And so I think they took that out because they're like, oh, shoot, this isn't working right. And they were trying to cover their butts. I mean,
I just thought of it.
Niantic does perfect coding every time.
I just can't even. I just thought of another bad mega. Togekiss. Why? What would that even accomplish? All right, the Day of the Dead, which is way better than Halloween. Dia de Muertos, 2022. Pokemon wearing, I'm gonna try it. Compasuchils? I'm not saying it right. Wearing kombucha crowns. No, that's my job, Shmee. You get back to walking that plank. And a collection challenge. And these are just more freaking flower crowns. That's all they are. Now you're taking the cool characters who are by all definition scary looking and macho and cool and manly men can like them. And you're and I don't know why I said the manly men stuff. It's like they're not cute. They're not, nobody in the world's gonna go, oh, that's so cute. No, these are mummies and demons and bad guys. And you're putting orange flower crowns on them. And it's just,
but it's not on Eevee.
It's just the ghost of Eevee won't even roll over in its grave for this crap. I mean, dude, this is, you could do so much. You could do the skull. It's a special name for the skull. It sounds like candy. Sugar skull. You can do the sugar skull stuff. That would be cool. That's, by the way, if you don't know what it is, look it up. That's where they take the skulls.
Scroll down to the avatar items and look at it.
I'll get there, but it's not the Pokemon, so that's not even the point. Maybe after, but the sugar skulls are the ones where they really do the cool designs on the skulls, all the colors and the shapes, and you could have done that. Man,
you know what?
Marowak. Yep. Marowak is a freaking walking sugar skull waiting to be painted.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. Just toss it on Cubone and Marowak.
Right, and you do these. Honestly, lazy freaking flowers. Just big orange, 3 of them, ... on each head. No effort, no design. You're. It's like every time they give me something cool, like leaves collecting on the ground, right? Just a nice little touch of coolness. There's. I talked about it a couple weeks ago. A large floating Pokemon actually broke the box of the nearby. It was floating outside the box. Cool little touches. And then you hit your intern up and went, hey, we're out of ideas. What do you do? I can clip art some flowers if you want. I think I'm actually mad about this. That's really just chapping my butt.
And their voice broke Joe. Just like that when they pitched it too.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. I'm still looking for the good news. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling.
That's all right. I mean, even like Swirlix. I know it's not a Halloween one, but anything that Litwick, you could have done basic Litwick as a sugar skull, or just a little sugar skull stamp or something like a cheek sticker or face, I'm just saying
a black flame Litwick costume.
That yeah.
The black flame candle. I'm not giving up on it.
We're trying to get to.
Oh man! But so the wild encounters are going to be. Actually, they can all be shiny.
So those aren't actual sugar skulls. Those are that's a different thing with the avatar items there. But it's in the same vein, but not quite. But yeah, okay. So they're doing something, at least they're doing something better with the avatars.
But yeah, so the wild encounters for this event, and do we even say when? I'm not sure if we've even said when. So it's going to be happening Tuesday, November 1st through Wednesday, November 2nd.
Dia de Muetros.
Yeah. And
So for those you don't know, Halloween is All Hallows Eve, right? It's the tradition of the demons come up because the next day is the holy day, November 1st. I don't remember the full backstory, but that's the basis. So it's called All Hallows Eve because the next day is All Hallows Day, which in South American culture, possibly other places in the world, is the Day of the Dead. And they're not scared of the dead. This is when they get to revisit their loved ones. It's a happy day for them. So that's why this is the first and the second.
Wait, I'm not even sure if we are getting this, because the verbiage specifically says trainers in Latin America and the Caribbean can look forward to featured event Pokemon appearing more often in the wild. And then when under the incense and lore part, again, says trainers in Latin America and the Caribbean. And then it doesn't say that for the field research, so maybe we can get those. It also doesn't say that verbiage for the raids.
Encounters.
And the avatar items, of course, they will be there because, Niantic's trying to make money. But this event, because I'm trying to read where it says other spots, but it says, because it doesn't say that in the top part where it talks about the holiday and where it's celebrated and things like that. And so I thought this was a global event, but the verbiage seems like it might only be in Latin America and the Caribbean. Guess we'll find out. I mean, this is just Niantic being vague as usual, right?
Yeah. And there, I just learned a slight difference. So I sent you a link of just a Google search of Sugar Skulls. Some of it's cheesy, some of it's fun, but the biggest thing is the big eyes with flowers around them, or some version thereof, and the big smile. They show it's a skull with teeth, and that's kind of a trademark of a Sugar Skull. Whereas the Capra something, which is what they're doing, the Calavera. The Calavera is what they're doing for the people with the stitched up mouth paint in the eyes, those kind of things. I'm not that familiar with the culture, but I love the art of Sugar Skulls. I've had friends who are really into it, so that's why I was a little more. And I mean, they can get really nice. Some, like I said, some of them can come off kind of cheesy, but you can have some real fun with them.
So
yeah,
I'm looking at the infographic, the next source that we've got there for the event, and it appears that the global bonuses are lore modules, incense lasting for 90 minutes, as well as 2 times catch candy. But it doesn't.
It does say Dia de Muertos World Celebration at the top of this graphic.
It does.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
But on the right-hand side, it still says Pokemon will appear. Maybe it's just even more often.
So yeah, even more. So so maybe the more will just be there, but we'll get some of the rest of the stuff.
So we're gonna have them, but in Latin America and Caribbean, they're gonna be flooded with them. Maybe.
Yeah. Now let's skip down to October 27th through November 8th. Who is that? Bathamot there.
Bathamot. Where are you looking at here?
This big, mean, almost Bahamut looking from Final Fantasy
Behemoth.
looking. Yeah.
That is. What is? Oh, that's Origin Form Giratina.
I like it. Is it going to be that coloration? Because that's what caught my eye. Not just the shape of the face skull mask, whatever,
that's
but
kind of the shiny form.
Is this steel blue / black / little hints of purple? That looks good.
But then it's. Let me see. Now I'm gonna Origin Form Giratina.
Dust Skull. I mean, look, even on this graphic, they put Sugar Skulls right in the middle. Nice little hearty, fun, celebratory Sugar Skull. Niantic, if you don't stop with these freaking flowers, I am going to. If you don't stop with these flowers, Niantic, I'm gonna ban TougasRose from the chat. Just so she'll go after you too. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So that isn't quite how it looks. That's a very much artist rendering, and the lighting on it makes it look slightly different
So
colors.
cool. Yeah.
But yeah. And a wild rose has appeared. TougasRose.
She came at the wrong time because I'm pissed off. She's my tool to get Niantic to do what I need.
Oh man.
Man, they could just
All right. Well, we've got a bunch to get through, so let's get to getting.
get off my lawn, Joe. Pokemon Go Halloween 2022 Part 2 keeps the tricks and treats coming. I'm looking for flowers because I'm not even we're gonna skip the story if there's flowers.
No, there's plenty of other stuff
All
here. Right. Wearing costumes.
All right, the costumes are all right.
Yeah.
They're lazy too. They're just neckerchiefs and a repurposed pilgrim hat that you made in first grade. Cool.
So this is
Gorgeist, man. Gorgeist is so freaking weird. I love it.
So this is
I love
October 27th through November 1st. So right before the Dia de Muetros event. There is a timed research if you want to pay for it. There's 2 of them again, which they did for part 1 as well. It's almost as if their numbers have not been, their profit margins have not been as lucrative this year, and they're trying to nickel and dime us out of everything that they possibly can. But you know what, Niantic? I'm not buying. Not that I probably would have either way.
They're offering 2 different ones this time, Joe. One for $1, which will get the first time research that they can get Yon Mask from. The second one for $5 US, or whatever the equivalent is in the world. You can purchase a ticket that grants access to time research featuring increased candy bonuses, additional Halloween themed tasks, and an avatar item.
Yay. And I saw people on Reddit talking about how this is
okay. The avatar item's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. The glowing pumpkin lanterns. Yeah, that's all right, Nate. You made me happy again. That's all right. Very cool. I'm not gonna buy it, but I got you.
Yeah, there were a lot of people voicing that they did not like that a paid ticket was giving a timed research instead of a special research.
Yeah.
Because if it's paid, it shouldn't go away. But no, these are timed research.
So, but they're calling it special.
Yeah. So if you do not complete it in the 5 days that this event is happening, it will expire.
Okay. The word I'm going to argue a little bit. The wording is a little unclear. It says special research will be available to claim from Thursday, October 20th to Tuesday, November 1st.
There's a part that says important.
Okay.
Important. Please note that timed research will expire. The tasks associated with timed research must be completed and their rewards must be claimed before Tuesday, November 1st at 10 a.m. local time.
Okay. What's the deal with Peplup, man?
With Piplup?
Yeah, scroll through and see the hat. It's just
with the pumpkin hat.
Yeah.
I think isn't that what Piplup had last year?
I don't remember. I want some more Phantoms. That should be Community Day, man. I need some Phantoms and some Pumpkaboos.
Yeah, I've got some of these Piplups already. That is what he had last year.
Oh, there's your title, Joe. TougasRose. It says Niantic. It's a no for me.
That is a good title. That is indeed a good title. But yeah, so in general, I really don't like what Niantic is doing with this, having 2 independent paid research just cause, like, and then part of the event bonus, trainers level 31 and above will receive 1 guaranteed XL candy. They always type it Candy XL, but that sounds so weird to me.
Sure.
I always read it as XL candy when walking with their buddy. So if you're trying to get XL candy for a buddy, this is a decent opportunity to do that, I suppose. And then the Origin Form Giratina will be available in raids from October 20th until November 1st, and it will learn Shadow Force, or it will know Shadow Force. But yeah. I'm too salty to be if it wasn't for those paid tickets, I would probably, to be honest, I would probably like this more. That almost, it's almost like Snow White would have liked that apple more if there wasn't that poison in it.
So they don't cross. Yeah, right. They don't cross over. So if you want to do both, you have to pay $6 US to get.
Yeah, no, they don't cross over.
That, yeah. I do forget about Halloween. Halloween's just not my thing. I just don't really care on any aspect of it whatsoever. But I do forget because I have most of the monsters, right, that would be associated with this, except that Phantom, man, and Pumpkaboo. Both of those are like, oh yeah, this is the only time we can get them, and they actually look pretty cool. And Phantom evolves into something really wicked cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm going to try to stay on top of that. But yeah, and if you're into it, they're really, really going hard on these avatar items and motion poses and whatnot. So if you're into it, there's some really cool avatar stuff going on, but it's going to nickel and dime you. You can be your own Dust Skull, but you have to buy the headpiece, you got to buy the suit, and you got to buy the pose, which makes you that mummy, walking forward thing. So, this is about 4 years too late, Joe. But our next headline is Community Day is Teddiursa, which I love Teddiursa. That dude turns into a mean mama jama. And let me just tell you, back in my day, that was the only beast that would take a chansey out of the freaking tower that was the Pokemon gyms at the time, where you just would move in. Ursaring. When I got my Ursaring, I took out a Chansey and I moved in and got my lease. And then they changed the stupid thing about a month later.
Yeah, at first I was like, what are they doing bringing Teddiursa? And the answer is because they're bringing out his third evolution, which is what you're shimmying about.
That's it. That's it, man. That's how you do it. You bring an older character back. Give us something new that's just not just an attack. Ursaluna is coming, the werebear, if you will. And we'll get the werebear stare, Joe. That's my charge attack, is the werebear stare.
The werebear stare. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. What do you think about this?
So this seems interesting. So they specifically call out the full moon because so the full moon is Saturday, November 12th until Sunday, November 13th. A full moon.
Not very long. No, okay, it's not even the whole time. It's 2 p.m. local time 12th to 6 a.m. local time the 13th.
And so a full moon will appear in the game in the Pokemon Go skies, and while the full moon is visible, you will be able to evolve Ursaring into Ursaluna. Once the moon sets, you will only be able to evolve your Ursaring into Ursaluna when the moon is full again. And
so it does sound like it'll come back, but we just won't know when.
Well, I assume it follows the lunar cycle. I haven't looked to see.
I would assume as well, but this is the first time they put a full moon in the game. That also affects gameplay.
So the full moon this doesn't even line up with actual full moon as far as Google says, because it says that the full moon is going to be November 8th. So this doesn't even... What? Niantic.
A little frustrated you are. What?
And so, so I don't know. Maybe after this, it will show up when it's actually a full moon. One would hope, maybe. But yeah, so you can only evolve Ursaluna evolve Ursaring into Ursaluna during a full moon. So, okay. And it's expensive. So it's 50 candy to go from Teddiursa to Ursaring, and then another 100 candy to go to Ursaluna, sorry. Other than the 400 candy evolutions like Magikarp, I think this might be the most expensive 3-stage evolution. I could be wrong, but I think so.
And they're doing it again, Joe. 4-star battle raids, Ursaring will appear. Cool. Well, you can jump that 50 candy right there. You don't have to evolve it. You just get one.
Yeah.
Only raid passes and premium battle passes will work. You cannot use remote raids on these.
Yeah, well, that's what they've been doing for a little while for Community Day. And I think we will see this more and more common where they say, oh, you're not allowed. Like, they're not getting rid of remote raids, but they're like, you can't use them for these special events. And I'm like, I get it, but at the same time, that not cool.
Hey, you're getting schooled. Professor says the 100 candy is actually very common. Look at most of the included starters. Tuga says, isn't it kind of in line with a bunch of others?
No, the 100 candy is. You're right. But normally, if it's a 3-stage evolution, that first evolution is only 25. Sorry, I should have made my point more clear. So okay,
I gotcha.
Teddiursa to Ursaring should have been 25 if it followed the normal stuff. So the normal pattern.
We're getting the shiny, and according to this next graphic you put up by Legends Lima, it's not Legends Lima. You've got this glow in the dark, like that type of green, like you see if something's glowing in the dark. So, oh, that can charge with light. You got glow in the dark Teddiursa. Then you've got the Chernobyl edition Ursaring, where he's been around too much radiation, and I really dig it. Then you've got this reddish Ursaluna, which is okay. I like the coloration on the regular Ursaluna better, the dark browns with the light grays.
Yeah.
But it's at least, I'll give you this, Joe, it's at least so different. Why did you break from the green theme? The green theme was working here. It's kind of cool. It's different. It's shiny. I mean, it's just, hey, collectible type of deal. Why did you go to red and not green?
I don't know. Pokemon Company, what were you thinking? They were like, hey, look, Mario, his mushrooms have red on it. Let's just go with it. And they were like, all right. I don't know.
I did. Okay, though, we do get an additional special trade during that time, during those hours. Trades will require 50% less Stardust during those hours. So it's a mini event. Event.
It's a community day.
Yeah, but it is, but I don't know. The timing's weird. It feels like it's not. I guess you're right. It just feels like it's not.
Well, November 2022 Community Day, Teddiursa, like it is a community day. I get that it feels weird, but it is what it is.
Gee, I wonder if anybody will bother to text me because they love me on that day. I don't know.
Nope.
I don't know.
I'm never texting you again about Community Day.
All right, community note. Updates the Pokemon Go map. It's been 3 years since we last updated it. So what's better about this?
Who knows? We won't know until it comes out.
They actually do it.
But in the announcement, they do say that basically it's a refresh with, I would assume, street maps still, open street maps. And so it will better reflect what is actually happening, I suppose. And so the spawns are going to change. The spawn algorithms are going to change. And they did say that in more densely populated areas, the spawns might be more spread out than they were before. And then in rural areas, or quote unquote rapidly expanding areas, they might see an increase in the number of overall Pokemon that appear. So we will see when we get it. Because, when it comes to Niantic, I only take what they say with a grain of salt.
Yeah. It could be really, really cool, or it could be really, really dumb.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, and did they actually put a date on here for when it's happening? I don't think they did. They just are like, hey, this is going to be happening. Yeah, I don't see a date here. So
then they don't change anything. They'll be like, didn't you see the change? Didn't you notice? Yeah, I don't know.
Nope.
Well, sir, I don't like it.
I got another button hit for you.
Charlie, Joe, what time is it?
It is time for random trivia.
Nurturing. Wait, no trivia.
And I wanted to talk about Hoopa. Because, well,
Hoopa, hoopity doo. Man, we came up with so many Hoopa jokes before the show. We didn't think of that one. I got it now.
So Hoopa is the mischief Pokemon. Hoopa Unbound is the Gin Pokemon. Hoopa Confined is a psychic ghost type, whereas Hoopa Unbound is a psychic dark type. A sarkic is a sarcastic psychic.
I like. Oh,
they speak into your mind, but it's always sarcasm.
I want to see that in the show now. A sarcastic psychic. Oh, so good.
It's called the movie Psych, or the show Psych,
and the movie, the show
Yes.
and the movie.
Yep. Oh man. Whenever I think of Gus, I think of when he says, "My body craves buttery goodness," because he's addicted to popcorn in that episode. Anyway, sorry. Brief tangent. So its Pokedex entry says, this troublemaker sends anything and everything to faraway places using its loop, which can warp space. And then the Hoopa Unbound Pokedex entry says, in its true form, it possesses a huge amount of power. Legends of its avarice tell how it once carried off an entire castle to gain the treasure hidden within. So,
I like this guy already.
Yeah. And, I mean, we're not getting its shiny form, and the raid's already happened, but its shiny form is like pure gold.
You can actually play this in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. It's a playable character.
Hoopa
Unbound. Yeah. It says both Hoopa Confined and Hoopa Unbound appear as spirits.
Oh, okay. So they're not.
Maybe you can't play as them.
They're not really. Yeah, the spirits are just helpers. They're not actually. You don't actually play them. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, my kids have unlocked all of the characters on Smash Brothers Ultimate, and we don't have Hoopa. Anyway, so Hoopa is. I mean, it's based on a Djinn. It's not quite like when people think of a Djinn or a genie, they think of Aladdin in the lamp. This is not quite the same because I mean there is the confined versus the unbound, but it's not. Yeah, this is more the.
I need to see. I need to see Hoopa Unbound in the next Detective Pikachu. I need to see that real rendering of what this would look like. Because that is, if he told me I had 3 wishes, I would just wish for dry pants because I peed myself, and then just like nope, you're free, man. I wish you just nope.
Be unbound.
Nothing good,
and be unbound somewhere else.
Yeah, nothing good is coming from this guy. He looks so scary.
Yeah, so he might be based off. I mean, he's probably an amalgamation, to be honest, of a bunch of different mythologies when it comes to djinns. Hindu, Chinese, Chinese Taoism, the whole all these different things. But one of the things that he might be based off of is Neza specifically, which is a Chinese folk mythology. So Neza is according to Mer Shahar, Neza is ultimately based on 2 figures from Hindu mythology. And so, yeah, basically it's just a whole bunch of different mythologies surrounding Djinn or genies. And, yeah, the combination, Hoopa is a definitely derived from the hoop that it has. But other people, just like Charles has been saying all night, it's a derivation of hoopla, which is he's mischievous. So hoopla is something loud, attention-grabbing, and possibly misleading. So hoopla is... Yeah, of course. But yeah, so we don't...
This is cool.
We don't have any time frame for when Elite Raids are going to come back, and we don't actually even know if it's going to be Hoopa again this next time. To me, the Elite Raids are a sadder form of EX Raids, really. That's what it seems like to me.
I get that.
So, but yeah, Hoopa was here and gone in the space of a couple days. Well,
A day.
Space of a day, yeah.
A day. Thank you. Let's get this right, shall we? So they have definitely made some updates to the game. No longer can you just barely touch a berry when you're playing with your buddy. Usually, I mean, I didn't pay attention. You could barely touch it, it would eat the berry. Nope. I just barely touched it. It did like a Pokeball, went dink in the floor, and Bennett went. He just looked at it like, nope. Then went to throw it half-heartedly, threw it off to the side. He just kind of watched, went, nope. You actually have to throw the berry like a Pokeball now and hit the
Hit your
Pokemon
buddy
with it. Hit your buddy. But here's why I'm playing with Bennett as a buddy, because I want to see it happen. It did. You can have the Mega on get off my screen. Me and Bennett are good buddies. You can have stop running. I want Joe to see you. You can have the Mega on the world map with you.
Well, there you go.
The Mega. And that is so Halloween, it's not even funny.
And
I've got a Mega Bennett as my buddy on the screen with me
and
right
now
now.
I wonder if it's on your screen
why.
in its regular form, and then you Mega Evolve it, does it update
Did it
the
change?
image? Yeah.
Right. That maybe for next time. Once it has a cooldown.
Next time on Dragon Balls. Wait, nope. Wrong game.
Hey, if you want to email us, show at PokemonGoPodcast.com. That's where I got these cool buttons.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Yeah, sent to me.
From Devo site, right?
From Devocate. Absolutely. Then we've got Speak Pipes, which you can leave a Speak Pipe a minute and a half in any device that touches the internet that has a microphone, which is practically every device in the world today. I could use my refrigerator to leave a Speak Pipe, Joe. No kidding. PokemonGoPodcast.com. On the side there is a Speak Pipe tab. Hit it, go, record, send us your voice. We'd love to have it. Reddit's r/Pokemon Go Podcast. Twitter is at Pokemon Go Podcast. YouTube is also Pokemon Go Podcast. TikTok is at, you can search Pokemon Go Podcast, or if you want to do the URL, TikTok.com/at Pokemon Go Podcast. And tonight, I just got the information over to a Civilian on Base. So I found it. So Civilian hopefully will be logging in the next however when. There's no, I can't put a time on him because, you know, I've left 3 in the queue for how many weeks now, months even, you know, but I finally empowered Civilian to go forth and conquer. Which, speaking of, Etsy.com/shop/Muirpack, MUIRPACK, get you some cool K-pop, Pokemon, and other stickers there. And for Halloween, now it's been done. She doesn't know I'm even talking about this, but Emily Swan does a lot of really cool art. And on her own, nothing to do with this show, she made a sticker that she calls We All Fly. And it's the clown from It holding a Drifloon, right, as the balloon. So she's mixing the Drifloon with the clown, and it's just, the lore just works together so well right there, right? Because the clown takes kids, Drifloon takes kids' souls. It was a cool little thing. If you're into that kind of thing, check out a swan named Emily, wherever you can find her. I'm sure she probably has an Etsy store. I know she has a patreon.com. But reach out to her, and I'm sure you'll be able to find that sticker and order it from her. Joe, where can they find you on the web? Oh, you know, I guess I forgot to say we're on twitch.tv every Thursday night at 8:00 unless we're at Disney. And so there's that. But you can check us out and find awesome people on twitch.tv/Pokemon Go Podcast as OAX2, Alice Idra, sort of geeked up Commander Root, Devocate, Lara Croft with a K, I like it, Old Man Tup, Pollock, Squishy to the Twitchy, the WF Professor, TougasRose 27, the Lurker, World's Most Okayest DM, which I saw the name in here. I was like, hey, do you know Dennis's game name? Nothing. No chat from him, no nothing. And that your audio, sir is going after the credits. XYFM is the other awesome person here. So come and check us out on Thursdays. And Joe, where can they check you out?
I mean, right here. Look at this face. It's awesome.
Look at this mug.
But you can find me on Twitter at Joseph_Ard. What about you, Charles?
Rock Out Podcasting across social media. We are One EMS. I've been working on this for about a year now. And it's been up and down with real life getting in the way. But hopefully We Are One EMS is going to be hitting the digital shelves here soon, where you can download the podcast and everything else. But Charles McFall, Rock Out Podcasting, all that jazz. Tune in next week to hear Joe say,
No, sir, I didn't like it.
that's right, because he's not going to be here. Man,
I might, but there is a chance I will not be here because my wife is having surgery this weekend. So,
yeah, she's getting that ring. Never mind. I don't know why I make such mean jokes about you, Joe. It's not true. But yeah, so actually, I'll give you another setup. Tune in next week to hear Joe say,
No, sir, I don't like it.
ha ha! I tricked you. Trick or treat, fool.